Let me ask you something. What if the reason you've stopped getting stronger isn't that you're slacking off, but actually because you're training too hard? I know, it sounds crazy, right? But it's this exact paradox that traps so many dedicated people in the gym.
Hey everyone, if you're out there pushing harder than ever, really grinding it out, but your numbers are stuck, or worse, they're actually going down, then yeah, you're in the right place. Trust me, you are not alone in this, and the reason why is probably not what you think.
You know the culture. We've all been steeped in it. This idea that pain is progress, that being completely exhausted is some kind of badge of honor. It's that no pain, no gain mantra, right? It's everywhere. And it basically tells us that if a workout doesn't absolutely wreck you, well, you must not have worked hard enough. Okay, so let's talk about strength's real origin story, where strength is actually built. Because what if that entire foundation, that whole no pain, no gain thing is just wrong? Let's get into it, because where strength really comes from might not be where you think.
And I want to be super clear about this right from the start. Your effort, your dedication, that is not the problem here. The issue is a really common, fundamental misunderstanding of how our bodies actually work, how they adapt and get stronger.
So look at this. On one hand, you have the common belief. Strength is forged during the workout. More intensity, more progress. But the reality? It's completely different. The workout, that's just the signal. It's the spark. The real work, the actual building of new strength, that happens after, when you're recovering.
What we're really aiming for is to get our body into this state called adaptation mode. This is the sweet spot. It's where your body, after it's had a chance to recover from all that stress, rebuilds itself to be stronger and more resilient than it was before. But here's the catch. If you don't give it enough recovery, you just get stuck in damage mode and you never get to the good part.
All right, so let's talk about the hidden toll of overtraining, the invisible damage. What actually happens when we stay stuck in that damage mode for way too long? Well, this is where things start to go wrong, often in ways we don't even see at first.
Yeah, we usually think about being tired in terms of our muscles, right? Like, oh, my quads are sore. But it's not just your muscles. The very first system to take a massive hit from all that relentless intensity is your central nervous system. You got to remember, strength isn't just about muscle fibers. It's neurological. Every single lift you do is a command sent from your brain through your nerves. And these are the classic signs of that neurological fatigue. Take a look. Do any of these hit home for you? Lifts feeling way heavier than they should, your technique just falling apart for no reason, or that deep feeling of having zero motivation to even get to the gym. That's not you being lazy. That is literally your nervous system screaming for a break. And what do most of us do? We try to push even harder, which just digs the hole deeper.
When that stress just keeps coming, day after day, and there's no real recovery in sight, a really critical shift happens inside your body. It basically stops caring about growth and adaptation. Instead, it flips a switch and goes into a pure survival state. All its resources get rerouted just to keep you going. And you can see that cascade effect right here. Your stress hormones, like cortisol, they start to climb. What does that do? It messes with your sleep. Then, poor sleep leads to more inflammation throughout your body. And all of this stuff just piles up, and the end result? Your strength gains come to a dead stop. Your body just doesn't feel safe enough to get stronger anymore. And let's be real for a second. A lot of this is fueled by what we see online. Social media glorifies the absolute extreme, right? You see these videos of people just collapsing after a workout, and it sends this message that if you're not completely destroying yourself, you're not trying hard enough. But here's the thing. Your body has no idea what social approval is. It only understands one thing: biological patterns.
Okay, so if going harder and harder is actually the problem, then what's the answer? This brings us to training smarter, not harder. It's about finding the path to sustainable strength. It's a total shift in how we approach this whole thing.
And I love this quote because it just nails it. The strongest bodies are often built not by the hardest sessions, but by the most sustainable ones. Think about that. Real long-term progress isn't about that one killer workout. It's about building a process you can actually stick with week in and week out for years. That's where the magic really happens. So this is the true cycle of progress, and this is so important to understand. Progress is not a straight line climbing up and up. It's a wave. It works like this. First, you apply stress. That's your workout. Then, number 2, you fully recover. You let your body heal. That's when number 3 happens. You adapt and get stronger. And only then are you ready to repeat the cycle, starting from a brand new, stronger baseline.
And what this means is we have to completely change how we think about rest. Taking a rest day is not a sign of weakness. Planning a lighter week, what we call a deload, is not a setback. These things aren't breaks from your training. They are an absolutely crucial, non-negotiable part of it. They're what make all your hard work actually count for something. Here's a simple way to think about it. Training without recovery is like constantly revving an engine without any oil in it. Sure, it'll make a lot of noise, and it might seem powerful for a little while, but we all know what's happening under the hood. You're not building a better engine, you're just causing damage that's going to add up until it inevitably breaks down. So when you get right down to it, all of this requires us to reframe on mindset. We need a new definition of strength. It's about changing the way we think about the entire process. Just look at this comparison. The old mindset says strength is proven by how much pain you can tolerate. It turns training into a constant battle. The new mindset, it understands that real strength is proven by consistent adaptation over time. It sees training not as a battle, but as a process.
So, what are the pillars of this new approach? It's about seeking balance, not brutality. It's about developing an awareness of what your body is telling you, not just ignoring the signals. It's focusing on consistency over just raw, all-out intensity. And it's about respecting your limits, because they're not weaknesses, they're valuable data.
And you know, when you finally make that shift, something incredible happens. That feeling of constantly being in a fight just fades away. Training stops being this battle you have to win every single day, and it starts feeling like what it was always supposed to be, this amazing, sustainable, and even enjoyable process of growth. So I want to leave you with this question. Just take a second and think about it honestly. Is your training a constant battle, or is it a sustainable process of growth? Because figuring that out, well, that could change absolutely everything for you. Thanks for joining this explainer. See you in the next video.